Do you want to know what the best neighborhood in New Braunfels is? Well, you're in the right place. I'm Sean Williams, and this is the NB Local, bringing you everything New Braunfels, everything local. Hey everybody, welcome to NB Local's Best Neighborhood series, where we bring you the most in-depth, most up-to-date information on all the neighborhoods in and around the New Braunfels area. So make sure you click that bell or hit the subscribe button or give it a like, share, do whatever you want to do. That way you get reminded next time I post a video on one of our next featured neighborhoods. This week we're going to one of the most prestigious neighborhoods in the New Braunfels area, which is Vintage Oaks. If you stick around, I'm going to tell you how you can get into Vintage Oaks on less than 1 acre, and it's available to you right now, and you don't have to use a custom builder. So stick around, I'm going to tell you how you can do that. All right, well, we've been working on this episode for Vintage Oaks for quite some time because honestly, there's just a lot of information on Vintage Oaks, and we want to make sure that we're getting you the most in-depth, up-to-date information on Vintage Oaks. Vintage Oaks has been around for about 15 years now. As we mentioned, it's one of the premier communities in the New Braunfels area. It's located about 6 miles to the west of town, halfway between New Braunfels and Canyon Lake. So it gives you really good access to both New Braunfels and lets you jet on up to the lake, spend a great day out on the water. It's considered a build on your lot style community, and it is in the heart of Comal ISD. Now, we mentioned it's a build on your lot style community, which means you simply go to the land office at the front, or you choose from some private sale lots that are available. You work with a realtor like myself, and we'll help you pick out a great lot. There's tons of great builders to choose from. They'll provide you with a list, or you can simply find your own. Anywhere from Keith Wing to JLP to Grand Endeavor. You've got Monticello Homes. I mean, those are the top 4 that just came to my mind, but there's literally dozens and dozens to choose from. We're going to send another link in the information below to a list of some of our preferred builders that we work with in the area. That way they can get you set up out at Vintage Oaks. All right, let's talk about home prices out in Vintage Oaks. As I mentioned, it is one of the more premier communities in New Braunfels. Heck, one of the more premier communities in Texas Hill Country in Texas. So you're going to be paying a premium to be out there. Average home price is around $760,000 at a price per square foot of just over $215. Sounds like a lot per square foot. Well, as I mentioned, most of the homes, heck, all the homes are custom built homes. So you're going to be paying a premium to get into a custom built home, but you do have the assurance knowing that you're getting into the best possible house you can get in the area. If you're actually looking at buying a house or selling your house out there, the homes are only on the market for around 66 days. Now it sounds like a lot considered some of the other communities we talked about, but custom built homes typically are on the market a lot longer, around 120 days. So for these to only be on the market for around 66 days means things are moving quick out there. It's a really, really high demand community. So if you're interested in moving out there, you better act quick because things are going pretty fast. Okay, now for the long-winded part, if you will, which is going to be the amenities, which is the main reason that people want to move out to Vintage Oaks. So I've talked about tennis courts, and I've talked about swimming pools. I've even talked about soccer fields before. Those are all individual communities. Well, Vintage Oaks, as you guessed it, has all of those and more. So you have to bear with me. I'm going to look down at my list because there's a lot to choose from. But the first thing I like to start off with when explaining the amenities is the walking trail. Oh, great, walking trail. This is a legitimate walking trail. You put it anywhere else and it's going to be a state park. It's 5 miles covered open air gravel walking trails. Take your dog out there, take your bike out there, go for a run, go for a walk. A lot of the actual houses out there back up to the walking trail, so it's absolutely amazing little amenity to have. You've got a 7,800 square foot fitness center that also has an Olympic sized pool, which is outdoors. That's separate from the Tuscan style resort, which is in a different part of the community, which backs up to one of the coolest neighborhood pools I have ever seen. It's got obviously a swimming pool with all the play pad and splash pads, but it also has a lazy river. So you don't have to go to Schlitterbahn. Cancel your membership. You're gonna go to the neighborhood community pool. What's next? If you actually live in Bear Creek, which is a community within a community, it actually has its own swimming pool. So if you're in there, you've got 3 swimming pools to choose from. We've got outdoor tennis courts, we've got children's pools, we've got that full-size soccer field, we've got a baseball field. It's got its own baseball field, tennis courts, basketball court. I'm not talking a tennis court with a basketball net on it. It's actually tennis courts, separate basketball court with its own individual use for basketball. So how cool is that? We got a turf volleyball court, which is awesome, which is next to the newest community pool that they put at the backside near 2272. So just my count right now, you've got 4 pools to choose from. Who knows if they're going to be adding more. You've got a native flower garden, and one of the coolest things I think, which is really an amenity, is the entire community is wired for fiber optic cable. So you don't have to worry about slow dial-up or cable internet or being out in the hill country and having to get satellite internet. You've got fiber optic cable delivered right to your property. So one of the many, many amenities that you get out at Vintage Oaks. All right, now I mentioned earlier that there is a super secret way of how you can actually move out to Vintage Oaks without being on an acre and without having to pay $760,000 for a home. Great news, folks. Vintage Oaks just opened about a year ago, the newest community, which is called The Grove. The Grove is more of your traditional style community with lots that range between 0.2 and 0.3 acres. And you don't have to go with a custom builder. You actually have partnered up with 3 of the best builders in the area, which is Scott Felder Homes, Monticello, and Perry Homes. And you simply approach them the way you would approach any other home building process on more of your tract style home communities. So it's a really, really great option. But guess what? You're not gonna have to pay an arm and a leg. Homes actually start, including the lots, at just over $400,000. So some of the communities out here are starting way, way above that. So you can actually get into Vintage Oaks, access all those great amenities we just talked to, not have to live on an acre or 14 acres, and not have to pay $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 for a custom home. So this is really, really great news. And it's not just they've set aside 5 or 6 or 7 lots. They have over 60 lots that are out there, guys. So there's tons to choose from. I was just out there the other day. Many of them are empty. Many of them are still for sale. So if you want to get out to Vintage Oaks, now is the time to do it. So I'm gonna put my contact information below if you want to take a look at some of the amenities that the Grove has in addition to Vintage Oaks. Or just leave me a message below and I'll get right back to you. Hey, I do this because I love New Braunfels and I want you to fall in love with it too. So make sure you leave a comment below if there's a neighborhood that we haven't highlighted and you want to see highlighted, or just reach out to me via all the contact methods I have below. Share this video, like it, click that bell, do all that fun YouTube stuff. I really enjoy doing this. And till next time, guys, I'm Sean Williams with the NB Local. Let's keep it local.